What's going on, everybody? Got some good news. Mail just arrived, and in it, the brand new Canon EOS R5 Mark II. I couldn't be happier this thing came in when it did. I actually pre-ordered it a while ago, and it just showed up today, thankfully. I am actually boarding a plane tomorrow morning first thing. I've got to shoot a bunch of ECNL level games. My daughter's actually playing in them up in New Jersey. We'll be there 3 or 4 days, jump on a plane, fly home, and then I've got an MLS game directly after, and then a women's professional game, I believe, the night after that. So it's going to be a busy next week, but it's great because I actually get an opportunity to run this thing through its paces and see what it can really do and give you an honest review. Nothing else really to say other than let's jump on a flight. So we just got to New Jersey yesterday, got in, shot my daughter's game today with the new Canon R5 Mark II. I'll start putting those photos up throughout this whole thing. Seemed to do well. The autofocus missed further away. So like if I'm shooting through the midfield into the goalie, capturing the goalie on the autofocus was a little more difficult than I'm used to. But overall I thought it did well. Tonight I'll get back and I'll edit them at the hotel. We'll see what we got. But for now, we found a hike about 30 minutes away from the hotel, so we're off in search of waterfalls and yeah, just get out of the hotel room for a while. All right, so we found the creek, got in, did a cold plunge, and yeah, I'm gonna test the camera out. I've got the Nifty 50, the RF 50 mil. It's not the 1.2 or the 1.4. I would love it if it was, but it isn't. So we'll deal with what we got. There's some sun coming through the trees, so I'm going to see what kind of shot I can get if I make it down the mountain here. Got it. All right, guys, headed to enter Coast Stadium. Got Orlando City MLS kicking back off this evening. I've got the Canon R5 Mark II in the camera bag, along with the R3. I just got back from shooting a bunch of games up in New Jersey, an ECNL soccer event up there. It did real well. The images are super sharp. I like having the megapixels so I could crop in a lot if I need to. The one thing I really wasn't thrilled about was I expected the autofocus maybe to be a little better. It just seemed to not. So if I'm grabbing beyond the like the midfielders, if I'm shooting through the field, beyond the midfielders like the center backs or the goalie, trying to hold the goalie on maybe a set piece or a corner kick, it just doesn't find him very well. And once it does find him, it doesn't lock on. And I get it, like there's people walking in front, everybody's been moving, a lot of movement, but I just kind of expected it to be better, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this. I have set that camera with my settings like at least twice, and for some reason they're not saving. So I don't know if it's a firmware thing or what. I've read a couple other people making comments in different threads, but it hasn't been like widespread or anything. So let me know if you're experiencing that, if you've got a Mark II and it's wild. For some reason, some of the custom button settings are just disappearing. So I don't know. It seems like it's going back to the factory reset.
But yeah. Other than that, we'll run it through, see how it does tonight. It's a little better environment to test in. It's a little harsher, darker for sure. It changes. The ISO range is massive because the warm-up start in the day and the end of the game finishes at night under heavy lights. LED boards in the background, so it is definitely a good place to test out and see what kind of results we can get.
All right, guys, final thoughts on the Canon R5 Mark II. It's a great camera, crazy sharp images. The autofocusing, once I got used to it, it's very responsive, very sharp. I still struggle a little bit grabbing like the goalies or the center backs through the whole back line across the field. You're talking over 100 yards, so I guess it's to be expected, but I would have still liked to maybe had a little better acquisition down there, but it is what it is. Other than that, I really liked it. I'd really like to start probably shooting some of my talking head stuff on my like on my channel, like I'm doing now with this. And the overheating probably won't be a problem for me because I don't do anything longer than 5-10 minutes anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this camera, run it for a year. I think it really does well when paired with the 100 to 300 f2.8. It's just a beast. I think the whole setup, I can actually go to professional games and only take one setup, one body, one lens if I want to. Yeah, it works well. It's very well rounded. I'm gonna travel again this weekend. I've got more shoots out of town, some games up in Atlanta and Birmingham. So I'm gonna be taking this with me with, like I said, with the 100 to 300 and see how it does. But I haven't had any issues. Now I did research it. There's more videos starting to pop up on YouTube and in different threads that the custom dial, when you're setting your custom dials and buttons, the settings are, for some reason, disappearing in some models. I unfortunately did have it happen to me. I set it up on the plane. I set all my settings. By the time I got to the first game the next day, everything was gone. So it's just odd. But yeah, they'll probably kick out a firmware update here soon and solve those problems, but it's not a massive issue for me. Other than that, like I said, very sharp images. I love the high frame rate and then being able to crop in as much as I want to post. So other than that, yeah, I like it. I recommend it. Hopefully they fix the resetting of the buttons and maybe work on that autofocus on far distances. But other than that, I liked it. We'll see you in the next episode.